52 weeks a year. 52 times 5, 260. This is episode 260 of the Scale News Update. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the past week. If you enjoy the Scale News Update, hit the like button. This is episode 260. We've been doing this over 5 years technically, but 5 years worth of episodes has finally happened. Crazy to think. Let's jump into this week's topics. First for this week, Traxxas gave us another version of the TRX4, this time in another high trail. This is the K5 Blazer edition of the high trail. Now, it's a K5 Blazer body, which you've seen from Traxxas before, but this one, a little bit different styling and a few of the molded pieces, things like that. It doesn't have clear windows. It's got the screened windows. So tons of detail in the body with the moldings, chrome, the beautiful grille, the rear tailgate area, but still with the screened windows. Kind of a bummer in that area, but in the end, the main market for this truck is someone who's looking for a big lifted truck that looks pretty good. And this one it is absolutely that. It comes with the 2.2 Canyon tires, 2.2 wheels, obviously, and the lift kit that Traxxas makes pre-installed on the TRX4. So you get this, perfect mud truck option for the TRX4. It's got all the bells and whistles, including the 2-speed and the locking and unlocking differentials as well. Also, big benefit with this version of the body is that it is also clipless. They're super nice clipless body system, which is just absolutely one of the best. So just a great version of the TRX4. If you like the way this looks and you were looking for one of the tall lifted ones, then it's just another option in that line. If you do enjoy it, looks like they'll be available very soon. I'll put a link below to where you can find them, as well as links to the rest of this week's topics. Next, RC Everyday. We talked about their rat rod kits not so long ago. I saw a recent post from them on their Facebook page where they put 12 of the kits up for sale, as well as some of the bodies that they have pre-made also. However, it does look like at the time of this filming that those may have already sold out. However, I'm going to put a link below where you can see his website, maybe just check back often or follow his social media where you see when more will be released. The chassis kit, you'll be able to see the final pricing there and what it includes, including that front grille / shock mounting, how the servo goes in, everything. Just a really good looking option if you're looking to build a rat rod. Definitely worth checking out. Again, these currently sold out, but I assume that more will keep on rolling. So check out RC Everyday in case you're looking to build something a little bit different. For you owners of the low-C Lasernut, or if you have any of the Tenacity platforms, Exotech recently released some 7075 machined aluminum front and rear diff housings for that platform. So if you're looking to extend the life and the rigidity of that gear set in the front or rear, this is worth checking out. It also includes larger bearings for a little bit better gear support also. So just upsizing some things, trying to keep those gears in position a little bit better. The 7075 machined aluminum housing should do a pretty good job at that as well. But keeping bearings alive by going to a little bit larger size bearing is always a good move. Last week, Spectrum released a Firma ESC specifically made for the 124 scale crawlers. Now, this is listed as an 8 amp ESC, which if you're comparing to some of the other ones on the market may seem very low, but it's an 8 amp continuous 40 amp burst, which is what most of the ESCs that you will see or shop for are going to be rated at. So even though this says 8 amp, it still stacks up pretty close with the 40 amp rating of a lot of the other ESCs. So keep note of that. Otherwise, 8 amp seemed awfully low at first. This is a censored brushless setup, so should have some good low speed control. I haven't seen any specific review videos on this system yet, or necessarily all of the specs. I see that it lists the BEC as yes in the specs. I didn't see an actual amperage output on there, so I can't say that I have a ton of info. The brushless motor that does come with is like a 4500 kV. Now, as far as the kV ratings and how those compare in the 124 scale world, I'm not sure if that 4500 is as high as it sounds, or if in that area you just end up with those higher kVs and it doesn't just immediately click for me. This is also listed as a smart ESC, so keeping you in that smart ecosystem if you want some of the telemetry possibly as well. It does have a machined aluminum case, so you can keep up with the Joneses in the 1/24 scale ESC game. And speaking of the Joneses, Furatech also has another new ESC option for you guys. This is the Python. They've got a Python Pro as well as the non-Pro versions. The Pro has an aluminum case, like we just talked about. Now, it's not just the aluminum case that differs it from the non-Pro version. The Pro can run 2 to 4S LiPo, where the non-Pro can run up to 3S LiPo only. Both versions have a 5 amp BEC, and both versions also have a built-in Bluetooth module. So you get that programmability the Furatechs offer built into this ESC rather than having the extra little module that plugs in and hangs off of the side. Good looking ESC, but not an inexpensive one, coming in at 120 bucks for just the ESC itself. For a 1/24 scale, 1/18 scale, depending on how you're using it or what vehicle you're using it in, it is a little spendy. Also, while browsing the Furatech site, I also ran across their new 4M Stellar transmission. This is a drop-in option for the TRX 4M. This is a machined aluminum case, all steel machined gears on the inside, and it comes with a brushless outrunner motor. So if you're trying to just beef up that TRX4, it's got a low gear set in it, so good for crawling. Combined with their brushless system, should be a super smooth and I would imagine nearly bulletproof option for that truck. This week on social media, Reefs RC teased that they're going to be releasing a gyro for drift cars. Their gyro is going to have a machined aluminum case in the shape of the Reefs RC logo and going to come in a couple of different colors, nice and small, but beyond that, I can't really tell a lot because not all of the details have been released yet. Just one post that I saw up on Facebook. Beyond that, we're just sitting back waiting for the official information. So if you're into drift, you wanted to try out another gyro option, maybe they'll have something that works for you. Thanks to Old Time RC for sponsoring this month of the Scale News Update. Old Time RC has a new body option for you TRX 4M owners. This is the Baja body, and this is a standard size, as they're calling it, made for that TRX 4M platform. Now, I don't have a photo of what it looks like fitted to that chassis exactly to see the difference in size between the one that they offer for the Axial SCX24 or AX24, but should be a little bit upsized in comparison. These are made out of PETG and vacuum formed in-house, which you can also buy the vacuum formers from them directly. It's one of the ones that I have and I really enjoy it. So looking for an interesting tool or just a new body for your TRX 4M, go check out Old Time RC. I've got a link to the new Baja body in the description below. Orders over $200, currently ship free. Next, I ran across this product from NEXX. Now, this doesn't actually appear to be new, but this is the NEXX Racing Jaguar 1/12 scale RC motorcycle. This is a kit version as it's listed, but it comes with a brushless motor and servo. No radio gear, and you have to paint it yourself. Don't 100% know if it comes pre-assembled as shown or if you have to build it. I think that it comes pre-assembled from the info that I've read so far, but this was actually just listed on AMA, and that's where I ran across it as a new item. Did some research though, and I've seen that it's been available since sometime last year. However, currently they just hit AMA, and if you were looking for one, it looks like the restock on them from NEXX Racing isn't going to come until sometime in June, but I do love RC motorcycles, so this one just kind of piqued my interest a little bit. I'm terrible at driving. I've never really been able to drive one well. Maybe this is the one though. Maybe I need it and I need to try it. The video of them zooming around a little tennis court, a bunch of them together. They are tiny, but they are fast and they look like a lot of fun. So I don't know. Am I the only one who likes RC motorcycles? A long time back, we talked about these new bodies coming from Montech, and I just finally saw them hit US shores. This is the Montec Patrol, as well as their R1 pickup crawler body. Montec does things a little differently in a lot of ways. The bodies that they make for all kinds of different areas, they just don't do it the same as everybody else. The Patrol, it's actually kind of grown on me just a little bit. It's a super narrow style Nissan Patrol body. It looks totally different. The proportions are opposite from what you normally see in RC. It seems like most time in RC, the bodies get bloated super wide. This, the opposite. And then the R1 crawler body, I think with some creative trimming, this one could also have some possibility. Could look at maybe, if you just want to look different than everyone else in your club running power wagons and cliffhangers, give these two options a closer look. Next, we can almost call these re-releases vintage at this point, but HPI has brought back a ton of stock of a bunch of their old bodies. Some of you have probably never seen them at all, so they're going to be brand new to you, but a lot of these go back to like the early 2000s. They've got the El Camino and the Hearse, the HPI Rubicon body, and then they've got like the 2002 BMW, which also looked great. Just so many options that they used to make just popped back in stock all over. So they've been getting the tooling up for those, getting them made and getting them shipped. So, I mean, some of you who may have been collecting the old original bodies in hopes of cashing in may have just lost out. But for everybody else, some really cool body options are re-available. Is that a word? Re-available? Then JConcepts released a new 1997 Ford F-150 body. This mainly intended for the monster truck crowd, but a lot of bodies were intended for monster trucks and they made their way onto crawlers. I'm just picturing some red F-150 Lightnings with a bunch of scale boxes in the back. Some opportunities to be had. Or if you're just a monster truck fan and you want the Ford F-150 from 1997, not the best years of the F-150. But it's available now. And then for you Axial SCX Pro owners, Trio released a ton of the parts in both brass and aluminum. You name it, you can get it in probably either option, whether it be skid plates or center sections, knuckles, third members, the bunch, just about everything. You can get in whatever material you're looking for. So if you want to add some weight or you want to add some strength over the plastic molded center section, in case you're trying to hold those tubes in place a little bit better, then they're one of the options that are now available on the market and making their way into people's hands. Tomorrow, Wednesday, you'll see my final episode of Road to the Rockies before I'm at the event. So this is the last time you'll see the vehicle or vehicles before they're finished. It could, who knows what state everything's going to show up in, but here's your last chance at seeing what I've got done, where I'm at, and you can make your bets on what's going to make it to the event. But check that out Wednesday morning early. And then Wednesday evening, make sure and check out a live stream takeover. Matt and I live, stressed, worried, and distracting ourselves with some conversation about the RC world. Come join us. Last week I asked you guys what your favorite local brick and mortar hobby shop was, or if it wasn't your favorite, at least what was it, and did they have your stuff? But this week I didn't prepare anything special for the 5-year anniversary of the show. 206. The show is older than some of the brands in RC, but my question for you is, if you had to guess, out of 260 episodes, how many have you seen? Just like to know. And thank you for watching each and every one of them, or if this is your very first, I appreciate you equally. Thanks again for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoy the show. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get updated. With that, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.